Yo, what's up? Welcome to another episode of Speak Life Radio right here on GorillaCross.com, SpeakLifeRadio.com, the Gorilla Cross app. We are live. I'm your host, Quan59, and we have another dope show for you today. Broadcasting live from downtown Las Vegas. Download the Gorilla Cross app. It's free. You can listen to live 24/7 positive hip-hop. We have a lot of sports shows. Unnamed sports show. Let the ball bounce. No plays off. A lot going on right here in the Gorilla Cross network, so make sure you guys all check that out. We have another dope show for you today. We're going to be doing some music and video reviews. We got about an hour to spend with you this afternoon. And I got a special guest co-host and a guest artist that we're going to be interviewing here live in the studio, so we're going to be getting to that as well. If you're watching live, please share the live video stream with your people. Sharing is caring, folks. So if you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, wherever you're watching, please share the live video stream with your people and subscribe. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Gorilla Cross, man. It's Gorilla Cross on all social media. So make sure you guys subscribe and check it out. Check us out. We are here live, man. So we definitely appreciate everybody for tuning in and being locked in with us live right here. Gorilla Cross. Listen, it's a good day. It's a Friday. It's very hot out here in Vegas. Hopefully we have some hot music to review today because we need some good music. We need some good new music to hear. You know what I'm saying? But please follow us once again at Gorilla Cross on all social media. And once again, please share the live video stream with your people. And I'm gonna jump right into it, man. I saw this cat. I've known of him a lot in Vegas. I think we've met a few times, but haven't really connected before. So a dude I've wanted to connect with for a while, and we finally get to connect. I saw he dropped a new mixtape, a new project. It is called Exalted. Actually got a hard copy. We don't get those much anymore these days, but a hard copy of Exalted. We got the man live in the studio right now. He goes by the name of Shaun Flaco. Shaun, how's it going, bro?
It's going good. It's going good. How you doing? How you doing?
Doing great, man. Doing great. Man, out here in Vegas, it's 920 degrees out.
No exaggeration.
How's that making you feel?
Well, I think it got a lot to do with our mixtapes. You know.
Hey, dropping that hot fire, huh?
Man, if we keep this up, I don't know that ozone layer is just getting punished. All that music coming out is just destroying that, and we getting the effects of that.
I feel you, man. So listen, you got a new project. You're out here in Vegas. How long you been in Vegas, and how long you been making music for?
I've been in Vegas since 2005.
Okay. And where'd you come out here from?
San Bernardino, California.
Okay.
909.
909.
Yep, the 909. I grew up in California. I spent a few years in Arizona and then was back in California.
What brought you to Vegas?
My parents.
Okay.
17. I moved out here my senior year. It was horrible.
Really?
It was horrible. I don't want to like diss Vegas or anything. It was just from what I came from, culture-wise, it was just like it was a lot of culture missing or that I wasn't introduced to yet. So, you know, everything was bland. At this point, I think Kanye West was the hottest artist, and he had Gold Digger. And so in California, at our high school, our prep rallies was like concerts.
Yeah.
You know, so I went to Cimarron. Shout out to Cimarron. They had a pep rally.
You're not going to diss Cimarron, are you?
Nah.
That's my alma mater.
They had a pep rally, and it was like an assembly.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, nah, man, I can't
That's
do
all
this.
it was, yeah.
I can't do this. So, but I did. I used to do little battle raps at lunch. And from that, I connected with a few people, got into some studios, and, you know, the rest was history. You know, but I've been making music since I was about, I want to say 16, maybe 16. As far as like officially like writing something down that I actually mean that I want to say.
Yeah.
Other than just, you know, people say, oh, I used to do it for fun. Yeah, I did it for fun, and then I start taking it serious. And
so how long has it been since you started actually taking it serious?
Quick math, I want to say about 15 years maybe.
Okay.
15 years. And when I say serious, I mean like arrangements and everything.
Yeah.
You know, song format, understanding the history. The reason why you have a hard copy is because it has a lot to do with where I came from.
Okay.
Even to this day, I still want to produce a vinyl. You know, that's
nice.
The closest you can get to a vinyl without having to skip. You know, vinyls, you got to play that thing front to back, and you get that warmth feeling with a CD.
You can't push the button.
Yeah, you can't do that. You know, so I still believe in hard copies. I like hard copies. I like tangible things still. You know, I know we got, like, you know, debit cards and everything, but it's like I still like feeling money. You know, I worked hard. I want to feel, you know, what I, you know, worked for. So
what's your musical background? What type of music did you grow up listening to?
Everything. Primarily oldies.
Okay.
Primarily oldies. It's crazy because they say with music you could time travel. So there's songs that I would hear as far as an oldie, and it'll remind me of what was going on at that time.
Yeah.
And a lot of them wasn't so good.
Yeah, I feel you.
Life lessons was being learned. Didn't I tell you not to steal? Like, while I'm getting disciplined, that song is in the background. You know, but oldies. They have they was the first to grasp my attention as far as speaking about your own life, you know, and storytelling. Other than that, it was just more fictional. I listened to a little bit of Pac. I didn't grow up on Pac. I grew up in technically the millennium. I grew up on Jadakiss, Fabulous, Jay-Z, Lloyd Banks, G Unit, and Sean Paul. Anything that was coming out, I was listening to it. Nelly, Nappy Roots. I was listening to everything. Nelly Furtado.
Yeah.
Britney Spears. I was on everything.
Well, I tell people all the time, man, if you're making music, don't just listen to the genre of music you make, because you're not going to get the creative inspiration from the same music. You know, what's going to happen is you're going to start imitating what you hear instead of hearing other genres of music, and then you take little pieces of what they're doing, and you're able to create a lot better. How long have you been doing it and doing Christian hip hop?
8 years.
And what got you into that?
Well, to be honest, I had no idea that Christian hip hop or gospel rap even existed prior to 2013. So I got saved in 2013, Friday, May 31st, to be exact. And it took about a month. I was literally in the process of getting a deal with Def Jam, and God saved me. And when he saved me, he started showing me like what my gift was and how to use it, and what I was already doing with it. It's like, this is not what you want to do with it. This is not why I gave it to you. He said, I gave it to you, just doing it the wrong way. He started showing me the right way. And the first person I think I listened to, everybody kept telling me, listen to Lecrae. I listened to him, and honestly, I was like, okay, God, from where I came from to this is very different. And it's not so much yet that I could relate to or that I even like. And that's one thing. I would never try to convince myself that I like something that I don't like, you know. So I was like, this ain't for me. This ain't for me. And he started showing me that you can be you in him. Yeah. It's like, okay, what you was doing over there, just do it over here, and I'll show you how to do it. You know, so for 8 years, that's all I've been doing, is still, even to this day, still perfecting my craft, you know, finding better ways to share the word of God and be creative with my testimony. Yeah. So. Now, what other influence did you have to help
you create that? Because, you know, we all need people around us to help keep us going, especially when you first become a Christian and now you're trying to make music, you're trying to do it to glorify God, you're trying to really make an impact. What type of people did you surround yourself with to make sure you stayed on that, on that path?
Well, to be honest, first I want to say my parents. When I got saved, my parents became my best friends because I started realizing a lot of...
Were they already in the church?
Uh-huh. Okay. Well, they attend church. I don't want to say that they were like consistently active.
Okay.
But I know that, number one, they always believe in God.
Yeah.
They always directed us to, the right stuff. Always told us the truth, and that's when I started learning about choices. A lot of the stuff that I went through is because of the choices I made.
Yeah.
And so once I got saved and came to the truth of stuff, I'm like, well, y'all been telling me the truth the whole time. And since you've already been ahead of me while I'm still living, let me learn what I can learn from you, on the back end. And so that was my primary structure right there, is my parents. And then from that, it was just whoever was educated, then whoever was authentic, and then the creativity came.
Yeah.
And from that, I have a community. When you see me now speaking, you're hearing a community of people that's shaped and molded me, even whether it was rebuke, correction, or even given an opportunity to learn like how to do something.
Yeah.
And then you add college to that, to all of that, and it's just like you get Shaun Flaco.
Yeah.
So
that's good. All right. I saw something on your social media about getting ordained. What's going on with that, man? You about to be a pastor?
Not a pastor. An evangelist. I'm going to be ordained to be an evangelist. And the thing about ordination is, I believe there's two types. God told me in 2016 I was his evangelist. I was already living the lifestyle of an evangelist. I just didn't know what it was. And so once he told me what it was, I started asking him how to show me to be that which you called me to be. And just people been watching me. I have spiritual fathers. I have spiritual accountability. I'm connected with a lot of father figures and leadership inside of the community, and as well as inside of the church. And so with all of that, I believe that they saw what they were supposed to see and said, look, God put on our heart to ordain you. Because me, prior to that, it wasn't a big issue for me.
Yeah.
I was like, all right. But now it's like, I thank God that somebody sees him working in me, and they want to, honor that. So
now, what's that look like for you to be able to go back and kind of look at yourself in the past and see, like, 8 years ago, 9 years ago, how you said 8 years ago?
Yep.
To go back to yourself 8 years ago to where you're at now, like, I'm getting ordained as an evangelist. I'm out here like preaching the gospel. What's that like, just being able to like snap your fingers and go from here, from there to here?
Bittersweet. It's bittersweet because it's a lot of joy, but it's also a lot of pain. A lot of the stuff I'm experiencing now, when I really look at it and think about it, I could have been had it. It just took so long. Like, I love how gracious and patient God is. It took so long. He told me that he was calling me since I was 12.
Wow.
I didn't respond till I was 24.
So you felt it when you were younger. You felt the pull.
So the thing about God is, it's almost like me telling my son over there, I'm going to tell you something now that's not going to make sense till, you get older.
Yeah.
So he was already speaking. I just didn't recognize his voice. I don't know if that's you.
Yeah.
And then I didn't have nothing to really groom that or direct me, to saying, hey, this is what God sound like. Hone in on that, practice on that, listen to that. It's like he caught me like at the bottom of the bottom, the worst of the worst.
Yeah.
And right before I was about to make a huge mistake, bigger than, mistakes that I already made prior to.
Yep.
And at that point, it was like, I got to either accept it or reject it, but I cannot deny that I didn't hear it.
Yeah.
So.
But the fact that you said you didn't recognize that voice.
Yeah, I didn't recognize it.
But you recognized it later on in life. You recognized, that was God's voice this whole time calling me, right? So that's what God's grace is. He didn't mind at that time that you didn't know that was his voice. He knew that in the future you would recognize that was his voice. So even saying it's bittersweet, the fact that you learn through those things. God knew the process. God knew the process you had to go through. So even those things you learned in the past of making mistakes and not living for him and doing whatever you're doing in your past, like, God brought you through that for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And I think we all have to go through that. So even though, like you said, it could be bittersweet, but you've recognized that God was there the whole time.
Right.
And I think that's what's dope, knowing that even when I wasn't paying attention or doing things. Even in our lives as Christians, we go through that, right?
Right.
Like we do things like, I wasn't doing anything right, and God was still here the whole time, and could have just slapped me down and been done with me.
Real talk.
But His grace is that dope, right?
Yeah, He said that while we were dead in our transgressions, He made us alive in Christ. He said that when we believed in Him, that He marked us with a seal.
Yeah.
So when I look at that, it's like, I don't know at what point that I believed in you, but you saw when I believed and marked it. Okay, send Him the Holy Spirit.
Yep.
So it's like, it's bittersweet, because the word of God says, with much knowledge come much grief. The more God reveals to you and you really start, it's like, oh man, I wish I didn't know that, but now that I know it, it's like nothing I can do about it. So, and it's a lot to do with me hurting Him. Like, man, God, I didn't know I did that to you. I didn't know that's how you felt. Like, so, but definitely, if I would have heard Him back then, I definitely would have responded.
Yeah.
And I know for a fact that I wasn't hearing Him because I had no conviction. I could do whatever I want and didn't feel no type of way about it. But when you hear Him and you do whatever you want.
Isn't that scary though? Because even, like I said, even as Christians, we have those times where we're not feeling convicted. And like, yo, how far did I go in what I'm doing right now to not feel convicted? Then when you finally feel that conviction again, you're like, God, thank you for still being there.
Amen.
Thank you for coming back and letting you reveal yourself to me again. Even as Christians, we all go through that, Yep. And I think sometimes we think that when we become Christians and everything's just going to be fine. We're not going to go through struggles. We're just going to be good from here on out. And I think when we become a new Christian, we get that zeal and we're just, bouncing off the walls, happy, and don't realize like we're still going to go through those trials. Just because you become a Christian doesn't mean everything's just done and perfect. It just means like we're good now as far as being saved, but we still got to go through this life and live and do the right things and live the right way and follow God's perfect will for us. But yeah, so everyone out there watching and listening, God's there. If you're not a Christian, like God's there. If you are a Christian, God's there. No matter what you think, God is there.
Always there.
Yeah.
It's like always on the scene. And it's like, you just got to, acknowledge it when he knocks, listen for that knock, understand, who's knocking. That's the most important thing. It's not like a regular person just coming up to you, knocking on your heart. It's like God is. And a lot of it is like to get you before you go to whatever you about to do next or be who you think you about to be next. So I think that has, that speaks volume right there. And that definitely hits home, just if you don't believe in God, He still believes in you.
Yeah.
And that's so crazy.
There was a movie, The Count of Monte Cristo, and there's a scene in there where the guy says, he's talking to an older man in the prison, and he says, well, I don't believe in God. And the guy said, the older man, I think he's dying at the time, whispers to him, it's like, it doesn't matter if you believe in God, He believes in you. And that just always hit me super hard because it's like, it doesn't matter. And how many times have we walked through life in disbelief?
Right.
And then when we finally are revealed, and we get the Holy Spirit revelation that God is real, you're like, yo, like, that's insane.
You know how hard it is to not believe in God? He does so many things to let us know, like, first of all, I gave every one of you a measure of faith. With that faith, you have the ability to believe in me in any capacity. And so to not believe in it, you really have to work on not believing in God. And even in working in it, you still believing in Him because you're working on the opposite of what you're doing. Like that's, I don't know. It's just, when you hear people say, I don't believe in God, it's like, you said that way too fast. You definitely believe.
Well, I don't believe in anything. I'm atheist. So you believe in atheism then, right? I mean, that's still a belief.
I believe in the devil, then you must believe in God. Yeah. Like, He came from.
Exactly. And people will try to say it's a coincidence with a lot of things, right? So I'll give people, man, show me an example why you believe in God, why you think God's real. And I'll give them examples of things that have happened, of things I've seen. And I'm like, if that's all a coincidence, then there must be a God creating those coincidences, right?
Right.
Because what's the chances of all those things that you pray for? And you're like, well, we're God's then, right? We're the ones creating that with our minds. It's like, who created us then to be able to create those things with in our minds?
Even the ideas. Like, where do you think the ideas come from? Like, who created this camera and the light? Like, who do you think gave you that idea? It's either going to be good or it's bad. The only downside is when you don't have nothing to line it up to compare to say what's good or what's bad. According to the word, it says we need the word of God so we can discern what's good and what's bad. If I have a thought coming to my mind right now, and I'm not filtering it through the Word of God, I'm liable to I'll be the one, to make the nuke. And destroy everybody. And it's like, well, you didn't think that was a bad idea? Nah, why? Because you have no word to line it up with, So
when I have those arguments, I always tell people I'd rather believe in God and be wrong than not believe in God and be right.
Come on now.
I mean, because if we're all wrong, right? If God isn't real and when we die it just ends, then cool.
Yep.
Then I was wrong. My bad. I was wrong. I'm not going to know it. But if I don't believe in God and I don't want to accept Jesus, and I'm wrong with my disbelief, and there is a God, and Jesus was real and is real,
man,
then the consequences for that outweigh the consequences for believing in God and being wrong.
That's tough. That's tough because even with that being said, it sounds accurate. However, God is our final arbitrator.
Yeah.
Like if you think about how long it took from for a space shuttle to go from here to the moon, how long that took.
Yeah.
The word says his love is greatest from heaven to earth. Heaven is beyond that. And so you love me that much that even with all that being, possible, if I was the one that didn't believe and, those facts were true about me, it would still be based off of your love for me, not my love for you. It'd still be your final decision to decide, if, I get to, live after I'm dead. Like, God is so dope. It's like, nobody can really fathom,
we can't.
Even that which we do understand is still like, man, it's not even nowhere near the surface.
Have you ever had those sleepless nights when you start thinking about that and start thinking about God and his grace and eternity, like being with God, like it never ending, like there's no end. And I've had those, and sometimes it scares me. And it was when I was younger, it would scare me. I'm like, yo, I can't handle. Like there's an end to every single thing we've ever had in life, right?
Yes, sir.
Like even friendships and stuff like that. Like there's an end to the day. There's always an end, and just to think about that is crazy to me. And I just have those thoughts sometimes that are just like bewildering.
That's why I like all the fictional scientific fantasy movies, because it gives you an idea. That's the best you can do as far as thinking outside of what's natural to us or what's before us. But when you start thinking about anything as it pertains to the deity of Christ, or God's nature, it's mind blowing. I don't think you can fathom it, or even make it make sense if you did fathom it. It's like, what does eternity look like? Yeah. It's like we're used to seeing stuff close and shut down and end, but it's like, we know for a fact. Look, in heaven, matter of fact, on earth, we know what the end of the day look like. It gets dark.
It's darker. Yeah.
In heaven, there is no darkness.
Yep.
It says his glory is the light.
And when you're outside too long at night, right? Because what happens?
The street lights
you look over there. Yep. No, I mean, I'm talking about at night. Like if it's past midnight, I'm staying out a little too late. You see, it starts getting lighter over there on the east side, right?
Yep.
I better get home before that sun comes all the way out. There's a beginning and an end to everything that we do here on earth. And to even imagine God, like there's no beginning or end to God like that. I can't comprehend little things like that. So if you can't comprehend that, I get to comprehend everything God does, and I don't know. But those arguments are funny to me sometimes when people try to have those arguments. I'm like, look, if you don't want to believe, that's cool, but you still believe in something.
Right.
You have some type of belief.
Definitely.
Even not believing is a belief.
True.
You believe in not believing.
A lot of people believe in themselves, you know, and not to say that in a negative way, because there is such thing as believing yourself as far as you can do it.
Yeah.
But believing in you, like, well, I believe in me because I'm real. I could touch this. I could,
Yep.
So, but that only get you so far.
You cannot stop yourself from death.
Exactly.
No matter how much power you have on this earth, no matter how much money Steve Jobs had. The cats who just went to space, the Amazon dude.
I didn't catch that.
The owner of Amazon, I can't remember his name, but anyways, all these people with all this money, with everything they own, the dude from Tesla, all these people have all this money. You cannot. Steve Jobs had a lot of money, could not stop cancer from taking his life.
Nope.
No matter how much power you think you have.
Nope.
God still holds the key, and guess what? We all still end up in the same exact place. No matter what we do on this earth, we all end up in the same exact place.
Very true.
No matter how much money you make.
Very true.
And life is short. Like the things we argue about, the vanity of social media, the things that we're just doing to impress other people. Like none of that matters.
See,
and you notice when you'll see, especially with social media, we know when people pass away now, right?
Right.
Even people we don't know. We just see like every day scrolling through Facebook. I have like almost 4,000 friends on Facebook. Most people I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But you're scrolling through every day. You're seeing somebody pass away, somebody's friend, somebody's, and to think about that, life is like that. So everything they worried about, I'll go to people's Facebook pages to see what they were doing. And it's like they just said something like 2 days ago. And some of the things they're doing and saying, like, none of that even matters now. So now you're not even here. And then the people don't, you're here and then you're gone, and people will be sad for a couple days and then everyone moves on.
I want to add to that two things out of that. The first thing was, the life being a vapor. It's definitely like, to God, it's a breath. It's just
the book of James.
Here today, gone tomorrow. But I do want to speak on the aspect of death. But prior to that, you said people do stuff in this life, and I believe exactly what you said to 110%. People do stuff in this life to impress other people.
Yeah.
This is why I rap. I don't rap to impress. I rap to impact.
Yeah.
While I'm here with my second chance, if I don't impact you enough to where you can make it, I could say one bar and it should impact you to where you making a decision. Not like, oh, that was dope, and then you forget who I was or what I said.
Yeah.
You don't even hear my name on record unless it's supposed to be. But it's not about me. It's about who I'm telling you about. So the other thing to that is, death is part of life. There's nothing you can do to prevent it. Everybody gonna die. Everybody's gonna die. Everybody's gonna die. And if anybody that knows me know, I always share this because it's so accurate. Everybody, me and you gonna die.
Yeah.
However, according to Jesus, according to what he said, if we believe in him, we're not gonna perish.
Yeah.
And that's a big difference between dying and perishing.
Yeah.
And so it's like, you have an opportunity to solidify, what happens to you next while you're still here before death even comes.
Goes back to, if I'm wrong, then I'm just gone and nothing. But if I'm right, there's eternity somewhere, right?
I didn't have a disbelief, but I can say from experience, I didn't believe in God and I died.
Yeah.
And so right there, look, this is why I have a testimony, because I know for a fact that God is real based on what I experienced. Yep. Now, if I was wrong with me not believing in God, and I'm like, Lord, I didn't believe in you and I died, and now I'm finding out the hard way, that's different. But you talking about somebody that I had no clue. I didn't know how to properly follow you or who you really were, how to seek you, and died, and you gave me a second chance. I'm back here understanding what it means to live and have life and to have it more abundantly. It has nothing to do with, all the stuff around us. So that's why even such an opportunity like this, I'm gonna make the most of it.
Yeah.
Because one day I'm not gonna be here. But while I'm here, Quan, let's chop it up.
And you might not be here tomorrow. So why not make today
our next breath? Why
not make today a good day? Even if you wake up in a bad mood. That's why I've really been hounding this on the show for the past 6 or 7 months. And I don't do it every day. I try, and sometimes I fail at it, but get up every day, and the Bible says renew your mind. So why not wake up first thing in the morning, get into worship, get into prayer, get into the word before you do anything else, because everything else is going to be a distraction.
Real talk.
If I get on my phone and the first thing I do in the morning is log into social media, I'm going to get all that stuff is the first thing feeding me, right?
Yep.
And that stuff's going to overwhelm me because you're just getting fed so many different things instead of like really being able to wake up and you get to rest on the word of God. Like, yo, that's crazy. We could talk to God first thing in the morning and really have your mind set on what you're going to do. And you can dictate how your day goes, because what happens, even if there's a car wreck in front of you and you're an hour late to work, you dictate your mood on how you handle that, because you woke up in the morning and renewed your mind and had a clear conscience of I'm doing this for God today. I'm God's vessel. No matter what happens around me, God is here with me, and it's how my actions are going to determine or how my emotions determine the actions I take.
Right.
So you can get in a car accident. You can have someone rear end you, mess up your car. You can get out and yell and be mad and be like, God, why? Or you can just, okay, I know things are going to happen. I know trials are going to happen every day, but how's my attitude going to be with this situation?
But when you renew your mind, it says a lot about your maturity. So when something like that happens, when you can acknowledge something like that, that lets you know the difference between reacting and responding.
Yeah.
If you don't renew your mind, you will most likely going to react to everything.
Mm-hmm.
But when your mind is renewed, when you have the word of God first, now you have a choice to make, which allows you to be put in position to respond. If somebody crashes into me, I can get mad naturally, or I can respond irregularly and throw them off. Are you okay?
And we know when we're reacting or responding,
exactly.
Right? I mean, I feel like most people could tell if I'm reacting or responding. Like, I wear my emotions on my sleeve when I'm having a bad day. You know what I'm saying? Like, people, I'm going to let you know I'm having a bad day. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's usually because I didn't do what I try to do every morning.
And you know what's crazy about that, Quan? Is if somebody was around you long enough to see that, then they don't have to react to that. They can respond to it. I see that you having a bad day. This ain't even normally you. And so, therefore, I'm going to feed you what I ate this morning.
Yeah.
But if I'm not eating, you gonna have two people around each other just reacting off of each other. And it's like, man, that's not what God has for us. That's not, especially if you know that.
See, we're both reacting to this fly, right. But I want to respond to the fly. Wait, I want to react. Wait, I want to react to the fly.
Sometimes your response is your reaction.
Yeah.
Because look,
real talk, I've been trying to murder this fly since yesterday.
I think the fly. See, this is what I love about flies. They're irritating, but they're doing their job. The fly.
What is a fly's job?
To be a fly. Just fly around. Just live your life.
Oh man, almost broke it. Look, these CDs are also good fly swatters.
They're record breaking, literally.
But real talk, I was saying before the show, like, there's some flies they'll fly into your house or your room or whatever, and they'll leave you alone. This dude, I don't know what he wants.
Man, he trying to get that word.
He's trying to get on the mic.
That word, like, let me get a little closer. What's buzzing? Like,
he's trying to get on the mic. Listen, man, we appreciate everybody for tuning in right now, right here on Speak Life Radio Show. We are here live every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. West Coast time. That's 11 on the East. So for you late night people that are up on the internet, a lot of people will get mad. And it's so late. Why is it so late? I see you on the internet past midnight Eastern time. So stop that. You guys are already up doing stuff, scrolling through the internet. You could watch our show every Tuesday, 8 p.m. West Coast time. And every Friday, we're trying to bring Fridays back every Friday, 2 p.m. West Coast time for you people on the East that always complain about the time. So we have afternoon show. We have a nighttime show. So we are here. We're live. If you guys are watching now, please share the live video stream with your people. Me and Shaun are going to be getting into some music and video reviews here in a minute. But I'm here with Shaun Flaco, local artist out here in Vegas via California, San Bernardino. And we're just chopping it up, man. I like having random conversations because you just don't know where they're going to go. And my thing is, I know when I'm talking to another Christian, it can go wherever it needs to go.
Indeed.
You don't have to have like an outline or a plan. You know, I know you make music. I've known of you in Vegas. We've met a couple times at some shows. I don't think we've really had a conversation. I do know your wife. Newly married, about 2 years, man.
2 years, almost 2 years.
What's that like, man? Just being married, and being married to somebody that is into the same stuff, and you could go out and minister with, and actually make some projects with.
In a realistic lifestyle, it's a dream come true. You know, it's very rare to find somebody interested in what you interested in, believe in what you believe in, do what you do in their own way, and then you could come together and do it together. Like, me and my wife is dope. We be killing stuff. We be killing stuff, and I don't mean it in a boastful way. I mean it when God gives it to us, and we feeding off of each other. It's like it was meant to be. You know, it's like, again, it's one of those things. Man, I wish I could have been had this. But you know, you don't always make the right decisions, and sometimes you don't always do what God tell you to do. But
God's
when you
not giving it to you till you're ready.
Real talk. I think
because if God would have given you that 10 years ago,
I would have messed it up.
It would have already been gone.
I would have messed it up. I knew prior to, because even my mindset was on different stuff. Yeah. You know, it's like, no, God, I don't want a girl. I want a woman, and I don't want a woman. I want a wife. Like, I'm not a boyfriend. I'm designed to be a husband. So I don't want to give all these husband qualities to somebody who's not going to commit to me long term. You know, so there's your wife right there. Okay, God, if you said it, and sure enough, it's like he can endorse and, you know, honor everything that he said.
How did you guys meet?
Well, we actually kind of knew each other. We was just like homies, and I don't want to say like friends. We were like homies. Like, We do some of the same events. We see each other, around the city. She's been doing this way before me. And I just real quick, a quick pin in that for anybody that's been doing what you do. If nobody knows that you're doing it, do more.
Yeah.
Do more, because as a secular artist headed down the path to destruction, not knowing the gospel rap existed, that says a lot to me about the community I grew up in.
Yeah.
It's like, hold up, where was y'all when I was sinning? Woo. Now that's where I'm at. The fact that I'm saved now, I'm everywhere I used to be and more, to make sure, look, Jesus is being preached.
Yeah.
Why? Because that's what he gave me the second chance to do.
Yeah.
So hopping back on that, me and my wife do that together, and it's dope.
I'm not going to put her age out there, but she is the definition of black don't crack.
My wife don't mind.
When I found out her age, bro, I was blown away. I thought she was in her 20s.
Yeah, you know what? When I found out her age, I was a little taken aback as well. I said, nah, she conduct herself very well too.
Yeah.
There's some people who act older than they are,
and
appear older than they are, and they just like, and there's some older people who like young-minded. My wife is 12 years older than me. 12, and this is my second marriage. My first marriage, my wife was 8 years older than me, and it has a lot to do with like what God called me to do.
Yeah.
For what God called me to do, I need maturity in my life.
Okay.
I can't have like games being played. I got kids involved. I got a community watching me. My family is watching me.
Yeah.
And when you look at all that, it's like, this is what God had for me. So it's like, you had someone who understands. I don't care if they that much older, they understands who I am. Like, not
did
what I do.
Did your family say anything when you're like, I'm getting married? She's 12 years older.
My family loved my wife. See, the thing about it is, I didn't even, hey, family, I'm about to get married. No, God is first. I love God more than anybody on this planet. And that's just the way it is. If you don't love God more than anybody else, you're not worthy of him. So I love God more than anybody else. There's nobody who has more influence in my life other than God. So when God said, this is your wife, I didn't have to go confirm with my parents. I didn't have to go get their approval. Look, God said it.
Yeah.
And the fact that he said it and me following it and acknowledging him first, all it did is just justified everything that came after that.
But people, this is 2020 and obviously 2019 when you got married, but people still want to give their opinion all the time if you ask for it or not. But people are cool with it?
And well, see,
or do you just not care when people do try to bring something up? It's like, I know, because I'm like that. Like, I've been doing this long enough that I don't care when someone tries to tell me something that I know I'm supposed to be doing if they try to say something. So
between me and my wife and everybody else, first of all, I'm built different and I don't function like that.
Yeah, that's good. And you shouldn't.
Yeah, I don't function like that's why even in my community, I'm only at certain events. I'm not a performer. I'm a minister. If you want somebody to impress you, you know who to book. But if you want somebody to impact you, hit me up. So when it comes to people being able to have influence in my life, look, I got to apologize to some people as I did in the past. I'm sorry that you felt that important in my life because I never meant for you to be. Like, you don't have, how do you have more say-so in my life than God? So therefore, it doesn't matter.
I feel like people that are always trying to have so much say-so in someone else's life is trying to hide the fact that they have things in their own life that they need to fix.
I believe that as well. And a lot of times people will do that. They will project what they're going through on you and try to make it your thing. I don't allow you to put nothing on me that's not mine. If God didn't give that to you to put on me, don't try to put it on me.
Yeah.
And that happens a lot even with like titles. Like, I'm being ordained, but it's not something that's like you can hang over my head.
Yeah.
If God didn't give me that, I don't want it.
Yeah.
You can't tell me what I am and then put that on me. If God called you to be a pastor, he has to give you grace to pastor. So if somebody's saying, hey, because based on how much I deal with the youth, people are trying to make me pastors. Yeah. I'm like, well, God never told me I was a pastor. So I know you want me to be a pastor, but that's not what.
That's one of my least favorite things about churches locally and just Americanized churches is they're always trying to find a role for you. It's like, can I just attend and minister in the way I minister? Because my thing is, I'm not trying to be involved in a church like that, and you're trying to manipulate. And churches don't do it on purpose all the time, right? I mean, it's just they're there all the time, so they're trying to get you to be. And it's like, dude, I'll be in a church twice. Like, I'll visit twice. Oh man, you have a studio? You want to run media? No, I do it 6 days a week. Right. Why would I want to do it on my only day off? I want to get fed.
Man, it's very true. It's like I have no response for it. I don't know why people do what they do, but it's like, look, at some point, man, just chill. Sometimes just chill. Like,
I don't want to. No,
it's okay to say no.
It's okay to say no.
It's okay to say no.
But a lot of people have a problem doing that because they think they're saying no to God. You're not saying no to God. You have to know where you're at. You have to know your relationship with God. You have to know your relationship with yourself and with your family, because I've seen it too many times. I've been in church my whole life since I was 5. I've seen it too many times where people are sacrificing their families to be involved and serve in the church. And that is backwards, folks. Read your Bible. It doesn't say anything about that. It says the opposite. Take care of your family first. Your family's your first ministry. If your family's suffering, then step back from the church. Who cares what the pastors and leaders say if you know you're doing the right thing?
So you just said it right there. Relationship. If you have a relationship with God, that means it's active. It's not one way. Like you only talking to him when you in trouble or in need. Oh, the police behind me, Lord. It's like, please, nah.
Yeah.
in a real relationship, there's
Dear Jesus, please, I got warrants.
Right. Constant conversation.
I love you. I'm sorry I haven't been there in 2 years.
I remember my first year. I love God for how he set up my walk. Because there's certain stuff he didn't do it all at once. He did this first, then that, then that. He got rid of anger first, then worry, then doubt, then shame. Like there's certain things he did in a specific order. But I remember the first year, and I'm glad he did it in the first year. I will always hear, "Who told you to do that?" Who told you to do that? And that just remind me to check with him first, because somebody could say, "Hey, Flaco, can you come do this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, bet." Just because you asked me. I didn't even ask God yet.
Yeah.
And so now I'm doing it, wondering why I'm not prospering. And it's like, who told you to do that? I didn't tell you to do that. If I did, I would have made provisions for you to, even be successful in it. And
it's okay to just wait a minute before you answer.
It is.
Well, I think we're in such a now world, we need everything instantly, that I have people get mad at me when I can't answer. Well, can you check your schedule? I'm like, I will when can I drink my Starbucks first?
You see how long this kind of took to come together?
Yeah.
It wasn't like an immediate, I'm going to ask you and then you give me an immediate response. It was two people understanding like, well, we both got lives. We both got Christ. So whenever God's timing, it's going to be God's timing. Because you see how smooth it is? Even with it being 2,000 degrees outside and a lot of traffic, traffic makes it hotter because you just sit in
definitely. And I got a car that does not like stop and go traffic.
Man.
Because they're trying to tell me I need a new engine, but God.
But God.
But God's still making it run. But that stop and go traffic, my car's like,
yeah.
It runs smooth when I got the gas.
You got to put it in neutral. Put it in neutral to keep it from Harlem shaking
on the freeway. The Harlem shake.
These cars be trying to dance on you. It's like, nah, you ain't supposed to be dancing. You supposed to be a smooth walker.
Yeah, I'll need my car crumping.
Nah, not at all.
Come on, man.
Bucking is like, nah, be still.
Like, come on, man. You're a Honda Civic. You're supposed to run forever. That's what they told me.
Honda Civics are very durable.
They are, man. I mean, I did Lyft and Uber, so I put a lot of miles on this car.
Gotta do it.
But man, I'm believing that God's gonna keep it alive.
Gotta do it. Look, I could tell you from experience, God doesn't want you without. I know that for a fact. If that's your transportation to continue to do what he put you here to do, he's gonna see to it, that you're taken care of. Rather, even if it's like, and I'm not saying like he's gonna do it, like I know what God is gonna do. But I know that I've never been without.
Yeah.
I've never been without. I had children I had to take on the bus. I had children I had to run with and carry. It's like, but I was always like able to go from here to there safely. And that's the whole thing. It's like, God, if you need me there, please make a way for it. And I just got to be humble enough to accept whatever way that is.
Yeah.
So God bless your Honda Civic.
Hey, yo, shout out to everybody that's tuned in live right now. The journalists, Tracy Nettles, Chris Matthews, Prophet Josiah, Jordan Vickers. A lot of people tuned in right now, man. Shout your city. Let us know where you're listening from, man. We will give you a shout out and shout out your city or state or country, because I know the journalist is tuning in live from Canada. We have a lot of Canadian viewers, man, so I appreciate that from everybody. Once again, please share the live video stream. We're going to be getting into live music and video reviews here in a second. We're going to do a handful of reviews, man. I know we're not going to get to everything, because it is a Friday. We got things to do tonight. But next week, we will be back on Tuesday. So if we don't get to your song today, we will get to it again on Tuesday. So keep submitting. If we can't get to everything, man, my apologies. Follow us at Gorilla Cross on all social media, man. We definitely appreciate everyone for tuning in. Rob, The Beloved Hunter, Fort Pierce, Florida. Christopher Matthews, Austin, Texas. P-Zone, Guthrie, Oklahoma. Ben Berea, McAllen, Texas. Look at that. Jordan Vickers and I are both from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Listen, man, never been to South Carolina. I've been to Texas a lot. But yeah, not South Carolina, man.
Did I just hear you say Pizzo?
No, P-Z-O. Preston Pizzo.
Yeah, that's
your dude?
That's the brother right there.
All right.
That's a stand-up dude, man. I love that dude with my whole heart. Shout out to Pizzo. All the way in OKC. Look how God be moving. That's so dope. Yeah, that's so dope.
Yo, who are some of your favorite Christian hip-hop artists right now, Shaun? Who do you listen to?
Man, you're going to be upset.
You don't listen to Christian hip-hop?
You're going to be upset. To an extent.
Okay.
To an extent. It depends because I like that you said Christian as opposed to a gospel rapper because there is a difference.
Mm-hmm.
And I listen to gospel, and a lot of gospel that I listen to are people that I know. It's not like an industry person. I got tired of being upset. Did you ever hear that story about the guy that sued Popeyes and won? Did you ever hear that? I think it was a few years ago when they had that sandwich.
Okay.
And they was always like advertising that sandwich. They were sold out. The guy kept going, asking for the sandwich, and they was like, man, we don't have it. And he sued them for false advertising. And so if I'm a gospel rapper saying, hey, I got Jesus, and then people are coming to me and they not getting Christ, it's like, dude, you know what? Like, I got tired of being that dude that's upset, expecting Christ from a gospel rapper, and there's like, this ain't gospel.
Yeah.
It's positive, but it's not gospel. Like, I could relate to it, but it's not helping my soul.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, it's people that I really know, like, or people that I'm getting to know. You know, Pizzo, Joshua 18, Slugger, and these are all from Vegas to Cali to OKC. Like, it's a lot of them out there. It's a lot of them. I'm the dude that when I go to events, I get to take. Let me get the CD.
Yeah.
I'll take the hard copy, pop it in, and really listen to it. Really see what I can eat. And then some of it is like, okay, that's dope. That's so good, Lord. Do you have something like that for me?
Yeah.
'Cause I love that dish. They lasagna is on point. Do you got some lasagna for me?
And I think it is hard sifting through who's legit doing it for the right reason and who's just doing it, calling themselves a Christian rapper.
Yep.
Because I've dealt with that a lot too. You know what I'm saying? Like dealing with artists that send us music or do interviews. But there are a lot of solid cats out there. And you do have to sift through sometimes. But there's a lot of good music out there, man. So I encourage you to listen to some. And I'll throw you some, man. I'll throw you some cats that I know in real life that are actually dope, solid Christian brothers at the same time, man. Because I know it does get hard.
Yeah.
Because I've dealt with people. I mean, even cats I've worked with that were Christians and then their life wasn't, but their music was,
right.
And now their life isn't.
I started with 116, Andy Mineo, all of them. KB still, I still listen to KB.
KB's legit.
Flame.
Flame
there's
legit.
a few people like that I still like, but it's not like.
But it's hard. I understand when you see them and their music changed with their money,
and it's
with their fame, and you see people start.
I'm glad that you know.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I don't have words for it, and I don't want words for it because I don't want it to sound like I'm going against.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I believe in God's grace.
Yeah.
It ain't nothing like he could snap his finger and, remind you of who you are and what you're supposed to be
But we have to
doing.
recognize that because those same things could happen in our own lives. And if we're not recognizing that in people's lives that we look up to,
Yep.
Because you can never look up to someone too much to where you're idolizing them. If you look up to them and notice the things they're doing wrong, you could step back and be like, all right, cool. I look up to you, but I'm not cool with that part of what you're doing. Then you're more amped to not fail in that same area. Because sometimes people look up to other people so much that when they fall, you think it's okay for me to fall in that same, they didn't, and I'll look up to them. And I've seen that happen before where, people, the artists they look up to that used to be Christian, now they're not Christian. I've seen their fan base kind of jump off that same cliff with them. And it's sad. So you have to recognize that.
That's why I said...
And pray for those artists, man. I pray for them.
Indeed. But that's why I said earlier about the influence. If anything, like if God is not your biggest influence, then you're liable to be led astray by anybody, even yourself. You could lead yourself astray. The word of God warns us, woe to the shepherd who's following his own spirit. Woe to the prophet who's following his own, like, whose spirit are you following? So at that point, it's like, I always make sure, like, if I even feel like I'm idolizing somebody, Lord, show me, like, what's up, show me, because it'll be something about me to get me to that point. So you have to constantly be examining and checking yourself.
And we could always idolize somebody without even knowing it.
Exactly.
Right? Because even with social media, who are we checking out every day, and everything they do we think is so awesome.
Right.
And then sometimes you realize and you see that person's actually miserable. They're just doing cool stuff on social media. They might be doing social media for an hour a day, but they put up so many posts that it just looks like they're having a great, amazing day, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they're putting their phone down. They have to deal with the same things we deal with. A lot of people on social media that are popular are going through a lot of depression. And so a lot of times you're idolizing somebody that really has a worse life than you.
Real talk.
But you're being depressed because you're trying to achieve the life that you think they're living that's actually fake.
Real talk.
But you don't know what they're really going through in their 24-hour period. You're just seeing those 15-second increments.
Unless they actually told you.
Mm-hmm.
And which is very rare. A lot of people don't do that because they have an image to uphold and a reputation to maintain.
Yep.
So if you see me, I only have an Instagram. I only have a SoundCloud. I don't even really use my YouTube, and it's because I'm living my life. You know, it's sometimes so hard to stop living and document it. Let me make sure I make a video to this, or you know, right now I'm doing my best to try to be more present. You know, as it pertains to like going live, like I'm live now.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's like it was hard for me to just like be on everything at the same. Like I got to do this again on Facebook and then do it. No, I'm not doing all that. I'm gonna live my life, and if you see me, you see me. If not, look, you can always just go in there and and see what I was doing. You know, but other than that, I'm living.
It is hard, especially with music and stuff like that, because you have to promote, in a different way these days. So, we talked about that off air. If it wasn't for everything I'm doing with the business and the radio shows and stuff like that, I'd be off social media a lot more than I am. And there's things I know I need to do on social media to get numbers up, but I just don't care to do that because, like you said earlier, the people that are going to hear me are the ones that are supposed to hear. Even today on the show, like whoever's listening is the people that were supposed to listen.
Right.
And we'll have the replay up, and whoever listens to the replay and watches the replay, trying to force it all the time and kill yourself to get views and likes it's crazy.
It's unrealistic.
Yeah.
It's unrealistic. I don't see how I can see if that was your job to do that, be the one forcing everything. But, in a natural life, everybody is technically the same. We all got legs and arms, and we all brush our teeth and, drive. Like, what you do in those titles is completely up to you. But I choose to view people for who they are,
Yeah.
Like right now, you're a CEO, right?
Yeah.
I'm not handling you no type of way, Leslie or higher. It's like at the end of the day, you're Quan.
Yep.
And I receive you as Quan. Not, oh my goodness, the CEO here. I got to make sure. Nah, look, I may stumble. I may make a mistake.
Yeah.
I may do what I don't. And I'm not. I don't even at this point, not in a negative way. I don't even care if you don't like me.
No, I mean it's the same thing, and it's not negative. I wouldn't even take it like that because you shouldn't treat people different because you want them to think of you a certain way.
Right.
If they don't like you for who you are, they're not supposed to be in your life. And
that's not life.
I've dealt with that. I mean, we have famous and semi-famous people in the studio every week. And I've noticed since I've grown up that when you just treat people normal, and I really do look at people normal. Like there's some people I'm like excited to see and meet, but I don't look at them any different than I would look at you, or treat them any different, or do an interview any different than I would do with somebody like you that I just met, haven't seen on TV, haven't seen on an NBA court or UFC octagon. And I've noticed I build real relationships with those people off of just treating them normal. People want to be treated normal.
Exactly.
No one wants to be idolized. They don't like carrying the weight of being idolized. And I just think that's a lesson that a lot of people need to learn. Don't be a fanboy of people, like especially grown adults. If you're a kid, you want to get an autograph and picture, that's cool. When I see a grown man trying to get an autograph of another man, that's to me is just weird. But that just goes back to not idolizing people and just treating people normal.
The reason why that's why it's such a problem is because even they know that you're not really idolizing them, that you're idolizing who they're pretending to be. So it's like I really wish you treated me like that, and not
even who
image.
They're pretending, but who they they're what they look like
right,
on TV.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I get it.
Yeah. All right, man. This Exalted mixtape. Oh, you got the Cash App on there too, so you could pay. Listen, man, pay the guy. 25 tracks. I was scrolling through your SoundCloud a couple days ago when you sent me the link, and I just kept going. I'm like, did this repeat? Because usually, you know, like someone drops an album or an EP, it's like, you know, you're getting between 5 and 13, 14, 15 tracks, right? I just kept scrolling through SoundCloud. I'm like, this is the same cover for all these songs, and it just never ended.
Yep. No, it's
so 25, man. Tell us about this project right here, Exalted, and why is it 25 tracks? Because in 2020, we're used to hearing singles, basically, and then if someone does drop a project, it's usually an EP. So why Exalted, the title, and the length of it?
Well, Exalted off top is, you know, is something that God does. You can't exalt yourself. God have to exalt you. So based on where I came from to now, I've been exalted. Prior to Christ, you can say I was below the low, you know, but God exalted me. And when he exalts you, he puts you on display to see that he did it. Like, if you see me on the covers because God did it. Prior to that, I wasn't on anything. I wasn't even seen, you know, and the length, 25, I mean, for what we have out today is needed. You know, you have, this is crazy. You have people that pay for food poison. And then you have authentic gourmet dishes that's free, almost like an antidote, and it's out there. When you look at the quantity and the quality, I want to give you both. And it's 25 because that's the length they got. Look, my cap was 20. I've never really went past 20. I'm like, all right, 20, that's it. Yeah. That's the most. But when I thought I was done, he kept giving me more. And so if God is giving it to me, I'm not going to stop you from eating. Yeah. If he's feeding me to feed you, I'm like, look, this is what God gave me to give you. This is what God gave me to give you. And it's crazy because when you look at the disk space, it's like it barely like hit that limit. Like I got an extra 2 minutes to spare. But if you look at, I think there's probably 1 or 2 of those, maybe 3. They're like a minute. Yeah,
you got a minute 46. Like, a lot of them are 2 minutes, 3 minutes. So even in an introduction or an interlude, you still want that to sound like a, you know, like I want the introduction and interlude to be a track too. You know, so if this is, why is it so short? Because it's setting up that. Yeah. But I didn't want to just waste time. Look, God said, if you utter worthy and not worthless words, you'll be my spokesman. So in any capacity that I'm speaking, if I'm speaking on his behalf, I want you to be fed. Yeah. So some people they wouldn't even get past track 3. And so therefore, if you think about like a buffet, that's technically a buffet. Yeah. It got so many different dishes. I don't know which one you're going to like. You're not going to like all of them. You may only like one. You may like none of them, but at least you have an option to say, you know, this is the one. You know, you have something to pick from. Yeah. This is all you got for me? I don't like none of these. Well, I got more. Well, why you didn't present me with that? I present you with everything I have in that season of me presenting it to you. So, all right. Well, let's check out what song you want us to play off this.
I like Never Will. I love Never Will. That's my cut right there. That was one of the last ones I recorded. And chronologically, it's not. I don't put them in order as I record them. But
all right. So here we go. This is Never Will, off Exalted, the mixtape from Shaun Flaco right here. Speak Life Radio, GorillaCross.com. Here we go.
This faith walk ain't no cakewalk. Before you take off, I think you should know you won't find no one better than Jesus. I don't care how much you look, you won't find no one better than Jesus. I guarantee that you won't find no one better than Jesus. Don't matter how hard you search, you won't find no one better than Jesus. I know that you never will. Who else can forgive you for your sins? Who else can deliver you within? Who else will never leave or forsake you? Who else gonna be with you to the end? Tell me, who else can complete you like a task? Who else can give you freedom that'll last? Who else knows exactly what you need? Who else can intercede on your behalf? Tell me, who was graceful when you was wasteful? Who was faithful when you was hateful? Tell me who made you compatible and well? Tell me who gave you compassion that won't fail? Who else but the Lord is super legit? Who else became poor so that you could be rich? Who else summoned you and showed you what wealth is? Who else wanted you when nobody else did, huh? You won't find no one better than Jesus. I don't care how much you look, you won't find no one better than Jesus. I guarantee that you won't find no one better than Jesus. Don't matter how hard you search, you won't find no one better than Jesus. I know that you never will. Who else can change your heart and state of mind? Same way change water into wine. Who else knows when your soul getting dull? Who else can make you sharper than a line? Tell me, who else can fill you with delight? Who else can shield you in a fight? Who else can resurrect you from the dead? Who else can heal you with his stripes? Tell me, who remembered you when when you was pitiful? Who considered you when you was ridiculed? Tell me in the midst of tribulations, who delivered you in fixing situations? Tell me, who else but the way, the truth, and the life was nailed and betrayed so that you could have life? Who else loved you in your sickness and in health? Who else loved you when you didn't love yourself? Huh? You won't find no one better than Jesus. I don't care how much you look, you won't find no one better than Jesus. I guarantee that you won't find no one better than Jesus. Don't matter how hard you search, you won't find no one better than Jesus. I know that you never will.
Yo, that's Shaun Flaco, Never Will, right here, Speak Life Radio. Friday afternoon, right here, broadcasting live from downtown Las Vegas. The album is out. The mixtape is out right now. How can people get it? Is it only on SoundCloud? You got the hard copies too. How do they get it from you?
Right now, for those who don't see me in person, SoundCloud. And the reason why SoundCloud is because it's free.
Yeah.
I know YouTube is free too, but there's like restrictions and copyrights, and it's like, dude, technically I'm just trying to share music. In person, I can do that without a copyright, without somebody blocking or restricting me. So when I do the events, in the community, I just hand the CDs out for those that want it. I never like, hey, take one of these. You got to take it. I've never sold anything in Christ a day of my life.
Okay.
Never did it. So everything I do is free, and that's just the way me and God got it set up. So
yeah, that works, man.
That Cash App on the back is for those who choose to donate. When I first made a tape, a lot of people was upset that I didn't give them opportunity to bless me, and I'm like, well, it's free, and it's like,
that's
well, God told me
still want to pay.
Yeah, and so if anything, look, if somebody want to bless me, that's what the Cash App is for. I'm not asking you for anything. You're not required to do it just because it's there. In that little thing, people don't know that when you bless me, that's what goes into these. Like, I go to the studio with that, like, oh, cool, now I got a session, that's help with the graphic, or this is gonna help, with the mastering. Like, I constantly sow into what's being sold into me, so it's you helping me make it free, but other than that, it's God gave it to me. Freely you receive, freely you give.
Yeah, it's good stuff, man. We are here live in the studio with Shaun Flaco. I put the SoundCloud link in the Facebook Live. So if you guys are watching on YouTube or the replay of this, then or if you're listening on the app, just go to soundcloud.com/Shaun SHAUN Flaco FLACO. So make sure you guys check that out. It's a lot of tracks and it's free. So listen, even if you don't like it,
right? Hey,
you're gonna like something.
It's a couple.
You're gonna like something.
I have 4 tapes on there.
You had that. You have Queen and Slim.
I got Queen and Slim. Man,
talk about Queen and Slim, man. I was listening to some of those tracks yesterday, man. It sounds more spoken word that you and God's Poet are doing on here, man. The cover is really dope.
Yeah, Queen and Slim is more. Shout out to Lake Davis. That's one of the dopest and dopest, not just graphic designers, but brothers I've met. He's like,
you can kind of see it on the screen. It's kind of small, but I thought that was really dope.
He goes in on everything he do. You could tell when God is involved in something, because they'll take that and just, blow it all the way out the park.
So what was it like making that with God's Poet? Just creating that project, because I know how it is making music with people, and you guys are married too. So was there any headbutting in this, or did it flow smoothly?
No, not in that area. It was no headbutting. As far as a smooth flow, to an extent. We started it like when we got married, and you see it took a minute because we had to live, we had to learn.
Yeah.
And the most hardest thing to do collectively was be transparent with you guys. Like, do we want to share this with them? And it's like, you know what? Yes, for the sake of marriage, for the sake of love, for the sake of second chances, because technically we both feel like that prior to meeting each other that we did the best we can do with the wrong people. And it's like, when it's the right people, it just, like, I've never experienced forgiveness from a woman as much as I've experienced from my wife. So if I make a mistake based on what I'm used to, my mindset is already, ready to, I'm about to go get my stuff. And it's like, why? I forgive you. But you forgive me and you mean it, as opposed to you forgive me and got me thinking you forgave me, but you really holding me. So to do that with music, it lets people see how transparent marriage is and what a real marriage, a real ordained marriage look like.
That's good.
When God do it, he's telling me, look, I'm putting 2 people to come together to represent me, that people may see what you have and want it for themselves. Yeah. Because marriage is a beautiful thing, and I think it's sad that a lot of people in our generation, rather older or younger, don't even desire to be with a life partner. Yeah. They don't desire to, a man don't desire to be with a woman no more. It's like, hold up, man, that's God's natural design, because by
it's
having
hard
that other
because society and what marriages look like in society right now, what relationships have looked like in society. Even as a Christian, it's hard because I've never been married. I was in a long-term relationship. I never got married, and it's still hard because now I'm at an older age. So even trying to date and do stuff like that and find what I know I want and need, man, has been difficult. And we live in an era where it's even in the church, you see people giving up so easy.
But so the thing is, it's the why. You know, a lot of people get married for the wrong reason. Yeah. You should never marry somebody based on a status, a certain income. It's literally like when you take all that stuff away and look at the core of a person. Yeah. Like if my hair not cut, if I don't got a job, if I'm like who I am if you respect and love me as that person, now you can build. Mm-hmm. But if you're going to marry me for a job, I may lose that job. Exactly. Because of what car I drive, that thing may blow up and the transmission may go out in the middle.
Well, even during COVID, like rich people were losing jobs.
Yeah,
so
and then you see those marriages are starting to it's why? Because you got married because he was rich. Yeah. It's like, no, when you look at that storm that happened in Texas, it was rich people in that water too. At that point, that money didn't matter. Like now all of y'all are swimming for your lives. So it's the same way with marriage. Like if you're going to marry somebody and be committed with somebody for a long term, make sure it's for the right reason, you know? And
we got a comment, Jordan Vickers, Christian marriages fail more than atheist marriages according to stats.
Whoa.
Stats are, listen, man, I always hear stats. I've never been surveyed. And so you got to watch where stats come from. A lot of times people will make up stats to try to create a narrative. So you got to watch out for stats. But I mean, I've seen it in the church, but I've also seen some great marriages, and most of the great marriages I've seen are people who are in the church. So shout out once again to everybody tuned in live. Shaun Flaco, his music is out now. Make sure you guys go get that. SoundCloud.com/Shaun Flaco. His name's on the screen, so just spell it the right way. Just search him on SoundCloud and follow him on Instagram at Shaun Flaco. All the information is on the screen, so make sure you guys check that out. And once again, follow us at Gorilla Cross on all social media, and follow me at Quan59 on all social media. I will follow you back unless you have a really whack and weird social media. Listen, man, I get followed by some Christian people sometimes. I'll follow them back, and I'm like, I thought they were Christian.
Right. Man, I don't think they'd be realizing. I don't think they'd be realizing what they post and then, trying to make it relate to who they are in person.
And I know there's always a, just because you get saved doesn't mean everything's, good yet. You know what I'm saying? So I know it's a process. So I don't judge on that. But if you're saved and still doing OnlyFans, you need to be delivered from some things. So, shut your OnlyFans account.
But that's the difference between believing and following. You can believe in Jesus and do what you want. It's when you start following him, you just can't do what you want.
Yep.
You're following his examples to your best ability. So
yeah. All right, listen, man, you're going to stick around with me for a little bit, and we're going to review some music and videos. What we do here on Speak Life Radio is we give a critique. If it's not a good song, I'm going to let you know, but I'm going to let you know what I think you could do better. I'm one man. It's my opinion. You could leave it, take it or leave it. But if you do submit your song, and this is your chance to delete your submission off the Facebook post, please don't send hate mail. Please don't tell me how wrong I am and I'm not a Christian because I didn't like your music. We give critiques. We do this for free, and we want you to get better. That's bottom line what it is. We want you to get better. And this is Shaun's first time, but we do rate it 1 to 5. If it's a great, amazing song, man, I'm going to give it a 5 if it's worthy of a 5. But if it's almost a 5, I'll give it a 4.5. So, and everybody in the comments, if you like it, just give us reactions, man, on Facebook. If you love it, give us the heart. If you just think it's like really just super dope, give us that mad face. Give us the sad face if you just don't like the song at all and it needs prayer. But give us reactions to the songs and the videos that we're going to be playing. We're only going to do a handful. We don't have a lot of time. We do have to get out of here in a little bit, so we don't have a lot of time. So we are going to get into the first song. It's a video. The artist is Barkitect. It's like an architect with bars. And the song is called Old Days featuring Cassette Coast. Right here, Speak Life Radio, live music and video reviews. Here we go.
Reminiscing, just take me back to the old days. Never thought that this world would be such a cold place. I just wanna know everything gon' be okay. Wanna give up, I'm tired, they tell me no, ain't. Got me drinking and smoking and talking. I'm hoping this pain, it'll take it away. All this drink in my cup, but I'm still feeling stuff. Father God, can you take all this pain?
With repetition and skepticism. My head's a prison, I've been left conditioned to addiction. I'm prolific as a rap musician, that's the gift I'm given. But actually my fans don't pay attention when they listen. I've been spitting about the things that I'm conflicted in my writtens. And my intuition tells me to submit to my religion. I'm a Christian, but I ain't been really living by his wisdom. I admit that if I did, I'd probably witness something different. See, for instance, I've been struggling with self-appreciation, mental health and deviation, overwhelmed by realizations of a life I've been excluded from, booted and unrooted from. Simple things I viewed as funded music would remove me from, secluded from the population, left with only observation, deaf to only obligation, stressing over confirmation on the day of judgment. All I want is to be okay. The heaven that I picture in my mind look like the old days.
Reminiscing, just take me back to the old days. Never thought that this world would be such a cold place. I just wanna know everything gon' be okay. Wanna give up, I'm tired, they tell me no, ain't. Got me drinking and smoking and talking. I'm hoping this pain, it'll take it away. All this drink in my cup, but I'm still feeling stuff. Father God, can you take all this pain? Still on my grind, rain and shine all the time. Any storm, any weather. Steady trying to change for the better. Still at times I gotta keep my head up. Mama going blind, I wish she could have a side bed. It's gonna be fine, I gotta stay on the right path. Drink up in my cup, it's only gonna get me sidetracked. I get lost for days, I'm crazy and I don't like it. There's some days I'm feeling low, sometimes I'm on the cloud. But still regardless, I just wanna make my mama proud. And yes, I'm grateful for this life that's been given to me. But still I don't know what it's like to be living in peace. I swing and bang and do my thing, homie. Bible on my phone, I gotta keep that thing on me. Shout out to all of the real ones who be praying for me. Here to stay, the Lord is real when he gon' answer faithfully. Reminiscing, just take me back to the old days. Never thought that this world would be such a cold place. I just wanna know everything gon' be okay. Wanna give up, I'm tired, they tell me no, ain't. Got me drinking and smoking and talking. I'm hoping this pain, it'll take it away. All this drink in my cup, but I'm still feeling stuff. Father God, can you take all this pain?
All right, that is Barkitect Old Days featuring Cassette Coach right here on Speak Life Radio, live music and video reviews. That is the first one for the day. I thought it was a really dope video. I mean, the quality of the video was crazy. Wasn't doing a lot in the video though. I would like to see a little more stuff going on in the video. I mean the camera was amazing. So it was definitely shot really dope. I would just like to see some more acting in the videos and more of what you're talking about in the video instead of just people standing there. But it was good, man. I mean, the video itself, high quality. The lyrics, pretty good, man. Everyone looked like gangsters back there. It looked like he definitely had some bodyguards in his video. So, nobody was going to mess with him on that video shoot. But I like the song overall. Not like he submitted stuff before, so it's not my favorite of his, but it was high quality. And then he had a line where he's talking about the Bible on his phone and he keeps it, like almost like a gun. So always ready to use it because it is a weapon for the right reason. But I like the track. I will give that, because the video was so high quality, I will give that a 3.8. Shaun, what do you think?
I didn't know you was putting point systems in between.
Yeah, I mean, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, so I would say 4. I would say a 4 just because of I know how it is to work on a budget, and I don't know what their budget was, but it looked like they made the most of it. You could tell by how the shots were shot. But as far as the sound, you can hear the transparency in it.
Yeah,
you can hear the struggle, the pain, like as opposed to I'm just trying to make a banger. It's like you really talking to God. I kind of felt where he was coming from, and that's
the real message.
Yeah, you always want to connect. Yeah. If I can't connect to it, I could tell you just made a record, but you can tell like he just look. If I was to die and I'm leaving this behind, I want you to know this. That's how I felt about that. It's like I want you to know this about me.
And it's always good when you actually feel
right,
the lyrics in the song, and you feel like what they're doing and saying is you could feel their emotion in that instead of them just making a song to make it. But yeah, and everybody in the comments too, if you want to leave your rating 1 through 5, and you could do the points, whatever you want to do, you know what I'm saying? Or if you just want to give it blatant 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, you can do that as well. And give us those reactions, man. I'm gonna give that one a hug, because it was just like, they felt like they needed hugs. They were going through stuff. They need some hugs.
Definitely.
But definitely really, really good song, and definitely high quality. Maybe just do a little bit more in the video. That's all I want to see is some more, concept videos. All right, next song we got the artist, my man Jordan Vickers, Solar Eclipse. The song is called Solar Eclipse, Total Eclipse. I don't know. There's like 3 different names on here, but we're going to play that right now, right here. Speak Life Radio.
Yeah.
And I hope you're not cussing in here, because it got the explicit lyrics on.
Uh-oh.
Hop up in my spaceship. Let me take you to a magical place where hip-hop lives. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the solar system. They like, yo, Solar, where you been? You mean besides working and raising a kid? I've been gone a while, but I never forget. Rap's the only reason I ain't ended it yet, but I've been listening, and honestly I'm pissed. How I go from Pac and Wayne and Drake to this. It said hip-hop is dead, and I'm just a guest. Well, I guess I'm just a zombie at best. I ain't robbed, but I've been robbed of quality, so it seems I'm the last of a dying breed. But I'ma keep fighting like everlasting, fans will never last. You only think this kid's inside cause you never had my past. How dare you remix classic songs, disrespect, legends long gone. Let's go back to the basics. I've been writing this shit before I started day shifts. I write this shit during all of my day shifts. It's obvious, you don't know what a lyricist is. We'll look no further cause I am him, but you can just call me Solar Eclipse. Hey, you can just call me Solar Eclipse. It's obvious, you don't know what a lyricist is. We'll look no further cause I am him, but you can just call me Solar Eclipse. Hey, you can just call me Solar Eclipse. Sick of generic beats, tired of the same old screech. You're a leech, getting rich on something that I truly need. That don't work with me, I take that personally. You say I don't know you, but I got you figured perfectly. You're a drug addict, instead of stopping make it seem a treasure, which is tragic cause it's working like magic. Damn, someone stop the madness, ain't the baddest, least I'm not as bad as you are. Spit 10 bars and sound like a car, was that so hard? Swear these kids are retarded with this trap shit. Really think any of it's gonna be called a classic? Nah, it's called a fad, it'll stay for a tab.
All right.
That did
You know you're not supposed to cuss on my show, and you sent it anyways. But I will critique it for what it is. The song, first of all, the recording needs to be way better. It sounds like you're recording it at home, which is fine because you got to start somewhere. I'm not sure, Jordan, how long you've been rapping. Definitely was kind of like a very old school flow. And just the quality. So first of all, I'll start with the quality of the recording. Needs to be way better if this is something you're gonna actually put out and try to get on radio. The effects, it was just kind of reverb. You didn't really have anything else going on. The beat, the bass in the beat was kind of high. And then you know what type of show this is, so you know not to send a song with an explicit lyric in it. And you were dropping some bombs on Speak Life Radio. It's called Speak Life Radio, Jordan. Come on. But I am glad you were being able to use music to release things you're going through, and you're talking about hip hop. You could rap. There's definitely some tuning I would do a lot in the studio. So maybe get with a producer that could help you out in the booth to actually do some stuff. A lot of work needs to be done just on the production and overall production of the song, lyrics, recording, all that stuff. I will give it a 2.0. And I would give it lower for you cussing on my show. You already know what's up. But he's a good dude, man. I've known him for a long time. So shout out to him for even getting out there and putting something out. But I would encourage you. I know, it's not a Christian song, obviously, but maybe just write something that's more uplifting. And that a lot of times you writing stuff, even though you're going through different things in your mind and going through depression and different things like that, write something that will help you lift you out of that and really give your life all the way to God. I know you know God, but just give your life all the way to him, man. And I think your lyrics and the quality of your music will change and be uplifted. So hope you do that, man. And you can always hit me up anytime you need anything. Shaun, what you got?
I'm a piggyback with you. I'm gonna run the two, primarily because of the cussing. Like, it'd be different if I knew. If I know I'm listening to something with cussing, then it's almost like the filter is up where I'm not listening for the cussing, but what you're saying. So it kind of caught me off guard. And as well as on the production, I work very hard. So I know the engineers work just as hard as well. Yeah. I know a brother that engineers his own stuff, and same thing. Like, don't be in a hurry to put something out just to have it out. Like, man, if you put it out, you want to put out your best at your best. So on the production, definitely can increase. Yeah. And then if you're gonna go boom bap, really rock it. I believe for what he was trying to do, that wasn't the right plate for it. That may have been a good dish, and he should just put it on a different beat, but that plate didn't carry that well. Yeah. So, and if you do secular music, it's like you can literally do whatever you want, but why do that? Yeah. So the fact that you presenting it to Speak Life, you still have an opportunity to transition to where you can start speaking life. Yeah. A good place to start from there is to just start speaking life. You know what? This ain't working for me because it's not real. It sounds like he's trying to be something he's not. And I don't even know him like that to say if he is or isn't. But I heard a few, you can hear some of him in there. He had to raise a kid, you working the grave shift, got that. But let's go more and make it more about you. When you make it more about you, you start finding out there's certain stuff you don't even have to put out there. You don't got to cuss. There's a better word for it, so, or something else.
And I would tell people that all the time because I've been running the studio for 20 plus years out here in Vegas. And even the secular artists that I would record and engineer, I would tell them, like, just take that skill level of not cussing in a song and see how hard it is, because usually cuss words are filler words, right? True. And I would tell people that, and they would come back to me like, yo, Quan, you're right, because they knew I didn't cuss in my music. So they would come back to me like, yo, Quan, you're right. Like, it's really hard to do this, but it helped them up their level of lyricism too, Yeah,
it definitely expands your vocabulary.
Yep. Definitely. All right, next song we got is my man Prophet Josiah. This song right here is called Paradise, right here, Speak Life Radio.
Paradise where it's not hot as hell, where I'll never need ice cause the weather is swell. Can't you tell the spirit on me? Yep. Like my wife all night, I'm never lonely. Spit a rhyme, watch it take flight. Watch it jump in your soul. Who got control to hold the GHO? S to the T, I'm not KRS, but it's my philosophy. Yes, I think very deeply, not very sheeply. Write my thoughts neatly, peep me, floating over beats, cause my man B eats. Don't get lost in the wave. Narrow is the road to Christ, wide is the road that leads to the grave, but you won't behave. Loving your lust too much, sex, food, and such. You can't wait to touch. Tell him to hush. The devil up in your ear, trying to get you to turn this off. Knock it off, demon. You lost already. My man still got a chance, like the rapper with the 3 on his hat. Think independent. Don't be your follower unless you're following Christ. Yeah. Don't be your follower. Luke chapter 23 and verse 26 says they led him away. The cross of the king was forced to stay on the back of the Cyrene named Simon. Yeah, in verse 32, they tell you to climb it. 2 other criminals, soon to be executed individuals, walk the same path. Verse 34, the loss was cast for his clothes. They ridiculed and laughed. Skip to 39. One of these criminals just blew my mind, saying, "Are you not the Christ? Why don't you set us free?" Then the dude on the other SIDE said, "What he say?" He said, "Don't you fear God? We deserve what we got. But this man did nothing wrong. Your spirit is strong. Remember me, Lord, when you come into your kingdom. That will suffice." Christ looked in his eyes and said, "You'll be in paradise with me. That's forever with me. Starting today. Starting today. Yo, do you want to get to paradise? Do you even know how to get to paradise? It's one way. The man Christ Jesus. Submit your life to him. Follow his ways. And you'll be guaranteed.
My man, Prophet Josiah right here, called Paradise. I've mentioned it before, man. I already love the artwork that he has for that project. He submitted some songs before. So I definitely love the artwork he has for that in the booth with the hand of God, kind of guiding him in the booth. Just very creative artwork. The beat was super dope, man. Like right when it kicked in, it was like super smooth. Something that I could hear live. Almost didn't even sound like hip hop at first, right? It's like kind of jazzy, kind of like super smooth. Something that I would love to hear in a live concert hall or something like that, man. Different, kind of old school, but different. The lyrics, there was definitely a message there, has some scriptures thrown in there. Very creative, man. I really do like this song a lot. This whole project, man, I've heard most of it, man. It's pretty dope. So make sure you guys go check that out. God Made Me Do It. Prophet Josiah. I would give that one a 4.2, man. I really did like that song a lot. Shaun.
I'm gonna run with the 4.5.
Okay.
4.5 is I think graphics has a lot to do with what you do. If your image match your sound, that says a lot. His graphics was dope.
I mention that all the time, Shaun, because we get submissions in the email, and if the cover art for the song, single, or album is horrible, I'm not even pushing play.
Real talk.
And something like this, I'm excited to push play because of the artwork. And artists, you need to realize that the artwork matters and it needs to match the song. And then if I push play and the song sounds nothing like the artwork, I'm still gonna throw it away. So
exactly. And so 4.5. The artwork was dope. The delivery is dope. The production is dope. The beat is nice. There's two things that I would recommend. And it's just probably personal for me. It's name drops and perspectives. There's not a lot of different audience. When I rap to reach everybody. Yeah. So therefore, I submit, I sacrifice, or I remove a brand. Yeah. So I'm not gonna say a Bentley. I would say a car. Yeah. If I say a Bentley and you don't know what a Bentley is, that bar is irrelevant to you. And in this generation, they're not gonna even go look it up to find out, to make that make sense. So I would, try to avoid name drops, and then perspectives is everything. Because if I get lost in who you talking to or about, that's too much to process. Now I'm trying to figure out who you talking about as opposed to listening to what you're saying. So in that, it's like, line up the perspectives. If you're talking to us about God, like kind of keep it that way, or let us know that when you're switching. You can tell towards the end he was, clearly going off of the story. Yeah. But in the beginning, I didn't know if you were talking like just out loud, or if you was talking like towards the enemy, or so at the end of the day, perspectives. And I think that's just how I'm tuned in to listen. I listen for, the perspectives and the name drops, because I'm not always in everything that the world is doing. So you can say a name and I don't know what you're talking about. And it's like, well, that didn't make sense. But if I knew, that probably would have hit, you know. So, the 4.5, because overall, it's you got something. You definitely got something.
All right. Next song we got is Beautiful Monsters with Running Away right here. Speak Life Radio. Once again, dope artwork.
Yep.
Makes me want to click on it right away.
I love that.
Nothing easy came on the streets of mine. Had to slang a nickel just to get it done. Always felt that pain, but I kept inside. If they want to get me, well, I got that now. Oh, Lord, I'm so tired of running away from you, running away from you.
See, I done stood here in the cold so long, it's turned my feelings numb. This life I lived, it done robbed me for everything that I done won. I can't trust anybody, I keep my circle few to none. If you ain't been there at my lowest, peace be with you, move along and keep your comments to yourself. Lord, I need your help, it's hard to put my guard down when my heart is always on the shelf. I ain't down with all that fake love, you can take that somewhere else. Cause 9 times out of 10, it ain't your op, stack flipping, bring you death. I just wanna take a breath and get a change of scenery. I had that for a bit until that old me came to see me sink. And now it's like, just leave me be. These evil thoughts is breeding seeds and keeping me away from what I need so I can be at peace. I'm just a missing puzzle piece. I can't find where I fit in. It was worse as Lord, I know your love and still need a mortician. Walking through this house of pain and each door brings a sin in. Or maybe it's some thoughts that take the comfort out of living. I need you, Lord, I'm slipping. I can't do this alone cause I start tripping. Nobody understands me like you do cause no one listens. I'm a misfit in the distance that hates his own existence. I just wish this would get fixed quick. Lord, let me in your presence.
Nothing easy came on the streets of mine. Had to slang a nickel just to get it done. Always felt that pain, but I kept inside. If they wanna get me, well, I got that now. Oh Lord, I'm so tired of running away from you, running away from you.
Hot boxing with the devil, homie. You can smell the flames on me. Keep it record deal, champagne. This is blood on me. Running out the firelight. Cali right behind me. Raindrops falling. Still looking up for my silver lining. I made my mind up. I just wanna be in your arms. Here's my heart, please. So away the scars. Drowning in my own sin. Mortified without the rig. Stay above the waters. Yeah, call it Adult Swim. This is what it has to be. Married to a majesty. Came out of tragedy. Satan out to banish me. You know nothing about the pain, tears in my face. The only grain I'm gripping is this coffin handle as I carry Pops to his grave. Feelings of abandonment, the pride of me says I can handle it, but I can't handle it. Swallow my pain, now I stomach it. Live with a stomach ache, the other side of God's plan. Go and tell Mr. Dre.
Easy came on the streets of mine. Had to slang a nickel just to get it done. But I kept inside.
All right, that is Beautiful Monsters Run Away right here. Speak Life Radio, live music and video review. Shaun, I'll let you go first on this one.
All right, so question, are they gospel or Christian artists, or are they just...
I believe they are Christian artists. Yeah.
Okay, and this is the same people from the...
They were in one of the other... they were in the video.
Okay, I saw the
in
tag,
a video, yeah.
Okay, so let's go with 4. I'm a big fan of production. You know, if it sounds nice, that'll at least get you to listen to it and stay tuned into it. So it's definitely bearable. I do want to say this though. I don't know the full project in totality. I'm gonna have to listen to it when I leave here. But it just more. I want to say more of, if you're in Christ, I'm pretty sure God has allowed you to experience things other than being on the outside, telling Him about how you want to get inside. I believe that speaks life. If I'm inside now, that should be a joyous thing. If I'm outside trying to get in, then that's valid. You can hear that. But if you in Christ, God is doing more than just saying, hey, stay here, stay in this pain. No, I know for a fact I've experienced so many different things in Christ, and that's what I put out there. It's not just when I was this, and I'm doing this trying to get, look, speak life. Speak life to your own situation, speak life to yourself, but don't stay in that same spot that you was when you first got in Christ. You are not outside no more trying to get in. If you're in, rejoice and explore and express those things as well. Let other people hear the other stuff that God has done and is doing in your life. So, but overall, production-wise, sound-wise, quality-wise, even lyrics, it lines up. I like it.
Yeah, definitely. You know, like I said, while we were live on air, just the quality of the graphic makes me want to push play. So it was definitely dope. I did notice that too a little bit. Like it was a testimony song, almost like I need you, God, but then you're like, I don't need you, and you. But when we have God in our lives and we need Jesus, He's going to bring people in our lives that we need too, right? Mm-hmm. We need fellowship. We need that. So it almost was a confusing message to me, because you're reaching out to God saying, I need you. And I understand what you were trying to do, but I'm not sure if it was conveyed totally, because I got the same type of feel where you're like, man, I don't need you. It was almost like you're being negative towards people and positive towards God. Right. But if you're being positive towards God, you're going to be more loving and open up and graceful to the people around you. So that it was a little confusing there, which I do understand the testimony you were trying to give. Like, I don't need to hear the voices of people. I need God. But it conveyed more in a way like it's negative towards what people were doing and positive towards God. So it was a little confusing with that. But I'll give it a 4.2 because the quality was good. And just vocally, I feel like the vocals need to be raised up a little more, especially on the first verse.
That beat was definitely hard. Just to chime in on what you were saying right there about needing. First, the word of God says, be careful how you handle people. You never know when you entertain an angel. You know, so I do want to say this, based on what you were trying to do or execute, commit to the Lord. Whatever you do, he will establish your plans. If you let God know, Lord, this is what I'm trying to do, and you give it to him, look, when he give it back, it's going to be exactly how he want it to be done, and it'll be in a better way that you can probably even fathom of putting it together. So that's just my encouragement for anybody that's making music in Christ, and you trying to convey something and you don't really know how to do that or what it looks like. Don't just do it and go, this is the best I can do. Give that thing to God, and don't put it out until like you're confident that God has given it back and this is the image he wants. Because I guarantee you, he will make all that make sense to where whoever's listening to it is not confused. All right.
Yeah. And I see, you know, Ben, you're saying the song's called Runaway. Can't expect it to be a positive song, but it was a confusing message to me. And I understand, like, not every song needs to be positive and praising God, because it's a project. You're conveying a message through every song. So I get it. Trust me. I get it. But it was a dope track. I'm just saying it sounded confusing because it was just confusing. I'm not going to keep harping on it, but
no other way to put it.
Exactly. All right, next track we have, and we're only going to do a couple more because we do got to get out of here. But next track, artist, I'm NACHAASH. I don't know how to pronounce that, but the song is called Mission right here, Speak Life Radio.
Like you didn't slander that.
If I don't know it, I'm not going to try.
Cash. 3, 2, 1, but the blast off. Yeah. We on a mission. Hey, dance with my father, Luther Vandross. Yeah. Ain't no competition. Jim Brown style with the handoff. Yeah. Put that my ambition. Hey, Clint Eastwood with the standoff. You should know I ain't missing. I'm on a mission, lil' Brody like pastor. My cup overflow, it ain't green, it's my pasture. Endure through the pain, then the laughter come after. Get my energy from the father, the adapter. Coming from my flesh, my alter ego is a rapture. The scriptures are alive, life flowing through the chapters. And I ain't no capper, but this here's a slapper. Wi-Fi connected, blessings download through my Napster. Satan think he's slick, often playing mind tricks. But Christ right here, hovering, covering my 6. My brothers build a kingdom, here I come with my bricks. Got my life on the line every time the time ticks. Standing in the pocket, angels on my linemen. See pressure, bust pipes, securates diamonds. Do what my father says, and he ain't Simon. Keep that light shining, even with my time in. You hard to ignore when you related to Christ. Iron sharpen iron, teach my brothers to slice. Leonardo with the sword, go and take the ass off. Satan got a problem, Kosh about to blast off. Not a space agency, we talking about NASA. No need for the faking, you can take the mask off. Holy Spirit know my name, my personal Casper. Chopping down imagination, not using a hacksaw. Raw. 3, 2, 1, about to blast off. Yeah. We on a mission. Hey, dance with my father, Luther Vandross. Yeah. Ain't no competition. Jim Brown style with the handoff. Yeah. Put that my ambition. Hey, Clint Eastwood with the standoff. You should know I ain't missing. Concerning the battle, not fleshly. Christ walked on water, so I got a jet ski. Then he froze the water, I became a Gretzky. See, it's more about him and about less me. Throw a brother, drop seeds like a sesame. Catch me preaching in the streets by sesame. See a brother got value, come assess me. And I keep the father laws, don't arrest me. Drip like a melted ball from Nestle. Gospel on my tongue, nothing fleshly. Get a team of Spark, Lisa Leslie. On a road student when he test me. Ahead on the game, I'm in next week. The outward appearance don't impress me. On go mode when you press me. Down with the Messiah, he the bestie. Don't know what time it is, your best seat. Suggest you start with milk, then less meat. Going on silk, but that's me. Devil want my soul, I'm at peace. Even though we on a mission, I'm at ease. You can paint my thumb green, I plant trees. 8-0 with the alley-oop, with this beat. Need a system with the word, then let's speak.
Yo, that is a song called Mission. The name is a name that I'm not going to try to pronounce. But shout out, if you're in the chat right now, let us know how to pronounce the name. Really dope track right there, man, from start to finish. Right when the beat kicked in, it had my attention. Very simple artwork on the album art, or the song artwork, but was really dope, man. I did like that a lot. Lyrically, man, everything was on point, dude. Like, he was saying some stuff I got to go back and listen to catch some of the metaphors he was doing. I thought it was really dope, man. I'm gonna give it a 4.5. I don't think we've heard this artist before on our show, so I definitely want to hear more stuff from him. I liked it a lot, man. 4.5 for me. Definitely submit more songs. I definitely want to hear more from that artist. I was going to try to pronounce it, Shaun.
I saw you.
I was going to try.
Go for it. Swing and a miss. I would say the same. 4.5. That was front to back. That's something has that playback feature. You want to hear that again. You want to play that again. I love how he how the flavor he has on it. Like, he started one way, kind of switched it and went back. And then I love when artists set up their hooks in a verse before it gets to the verse. I mean, before it gets to the hook. I love that. And he finessed us.
Yeah.
He finessed us. That was dope. I like that.
Yeah, it was good, man. So we have a few more we're going to get to. If you're in the chat right now watching and you submit the song, let us know. Let us know in the chat, and we'll get to your song. So we're going to have to skip around because we don't have much time left, folks, in today's show. And if we don't get to your song, please hit us up on Tuesday night, 8 p.m. West Coast time, right here on Gorilla Cross Radio. Download the app. It's free. And submit this Tuesday coming up, 8 p.m. West Coast time. We have a dope interview for you on Tuesday, so make sure you guys check that out as well. This is Mark Music with Dear Future Wife. Sounds like it might be a cupcake song, Mark. Right here, Speak Life Radio.
Proverbs 18:22. The man who finds a wife finds a treasure, and he receives favor from the Lord. Where are you?
I wanna hold you at the end of the night. Keep it close so we can be tight. I wanna do this right. I wanna love you for the rest of my life. Show you my love on this path I ride. Dear future.
Yeah. So tell me what your name is. Where you from? Where you from? Where your faith is? Do you sing? Do you love kids? Do you have any? Tell me what their age is. Look, I'm trying to get to know you better so I can be a best friend and I can show you better. So you say you go to church, we can go together. We can play in the snow and get cold together. Or we can hop into the whip, take a cruise. It doesn't matter what we do as long as I'm with you. Instead of going out tonight, I'll just stay with you. We can even do devotions and I pray with you. For real, let's chill and watch the sunset. You having fun yet? I hope you say yes. We ain't gotta have any money to spend some time. I just wanna make you smile and make you mine. I'm counting you as a blessing. My faith it just resurrected. Your love it won't get rejected. My heart it will be invested. I hope you're getting this message. He pointed to my direction. This is not a mistake. I believe it and I confess it. So let's take it slow. I hope that you can respect it. Ain't gotta have any letters for us to be together. I'm taking you as you are, becoming my superstar. Whoever you are, I know that you are gonna make me better. Look, I wanna hold you at the end of the night. Keep you close so we can be tight. I wanna do this right. I wanna love you for the rest of my life. Show you my love on this path I write. Dear future wife, we ain't gotta be perfect or nervous. I can be a waiter, be a good service. Show you what your worth is, far from worthless. My purpose is to be yours without purchase. If we're having problems, bring it to the surface. Behind closed doors, close the curtains. We can get it worked out, that's for certain. I'm trying to lift the weight, I ain't trying to be a burden. I hope that my past doesn't push you away. I want you to stay. Don't be afraid.
All right, that is Mark Music, Dear Future Wife. We're just going to scroll through these songs, man. Play like a minute and a half. Get the verse and the hook of these next few tracks we're going to do. Dear Future Wife, right here, Speak Life Radio. Shaun, what you got on this one?
Man, that's the first 5 of the day.
Give it a 5.
I'll give it a 5. Yeah, love conquers all. Love covers a multitude of sin. And you could tell this dude was serious about what he was saying. He meant it. You don't sound like he was trying to impress and just make a track. Like, that was dope. I like it. I like the style, the flow, the sound, even the graphics. The graphics line, everything lined up. Everything, the perspective, all of it. I love that. First 5 of the day for me.
There we go. I'm not going to give it a 5, but I will. We talk about it all the time with his music, man. Everything is mixed totally different. This one was mixed pretty well. I would have upped the lyrics a little bit, but it was still mixed way better than some of the other stuff he submitted. I like it. I'm not a huge fan of those like songs to my girl and stuff like that, or songs to the future girl, but he was on point with the things he was saying. So for that. It was a good song. I will give it a 3.5. I didn't love it, but I definitely didn't hate that. I thought it was very good quality. And I just hate talking in the beginning of a song, like spitting the verses and stuff like that. But the Bible verses before a song starts, just let that convey in the song itself. But that's just my personal opinion for stuff like that. But 3.5 from me. All right, next one we got. Trying to go through quick here so we can get to as many as possible, man. We only got like 10 minutes, so I'm gonna get to as many as possible. C Duffel, man, why are you sending me songs featuring you? We want your song, not a feature, but I'll go ahead and play this. Yanni Yo something Turning Up featuring Ends and C Duffel. C Duffel send the features right here, Speak Life Radio.
Yeah. Yeah, Rihanna. Back to back, we making songs. Got me in that mix. Got them words that cut straight through your dome. We gon' call them hits. Got them bobbles. We gon' rush your hood like we in that blitz. And you know I'm from that dirty south where they play with sticks. I cannot be touched. Got with me, he clutch. I'm not one to fuss. When that sick come, I'm a bust. Shooting all them scriptures. Watch me, I'ma paint a picture. Watch out for the snakes. I can see right through they fake. I'm a misfit. I'ma be the one to stand out. When them trials come, I'ma be the one to stand fast. I won't move. I know God gon' give me them tools. Never alone, like Noah, come 2 by 2. Moving on the beat, I'm like David, that's my clothes on. And we coming hot, like somebody left the stove on. I don't deal with hate, you in my way, you moving over. Slept on me too long, but now you woke, cause I'm like Folgers. Just like Folgers, waking up my culture. I'm not gonna lose, I got God, so now I'm golden. They will try to take it from me, he can't move no closer. God got a hedge around me, always on my shoulders. Ay, I got God, he keep me from being bound. If the devil come, he gon' catch another round. This that good music, God is always in my sound. Turn it up, I can never turn down. Ay, turn it up, I never turn down. Yeah, turn it up, I never turn down. Ay, turn it up, I never turn down. Yeah, I'm turning up, I never turn down.
I just broke the knob and everybody know it. Dry all my foreign card like that thing stolen. Bankroll so big, you know I can't fold it. The devil stay busy, so you know I gotta tote it, yeah. I've been up the written skill and don't put me on the digital skill. I'm blessed, so I'm living well and I can't hide it. Tell Pastor when you know God, you don't gotta bite it. Took his love to the bed, no God, they wanna try it. Me and Yahweh, young and old school eating donuts. Got a pretty wife, but all them girls still want us. Sorry, little baby, I've been living for the Father. And you can have his love if you pray a little harder. I've been grinding hard while you think they call me ends. When you got the angels, you don't really need friends. Tell the DJ, turn me up and play this hit again. Cause when you really poppin', you gon' always set trend. Whoa.
Hey, I got God, he keep me from being bound. If the devil come, he gon' catch another round. This that good music, God is always in my sound. Turn it up, I can never turn down. Hey, turn it up, I never turn down. Yeah, turn it up, I never turn down. Turn it up, I never turn down. Turn it up, I never turn down.
I got the gene like denim. They in my mouth, I feel them. They be the snakes with venom. I cut the grass, I till them. Finna go tight of the dirt, so I'm cleaning the mineral. You cannot hang if you rope to that cynical. I'm on the move, ain't no cap in my pinnacle. Jesus and me, we are like we identical. Reaching for souls, say we sick, we be clinical. We be clinical. I treat the people with I'm like an Angelo. Animal, but no art, that's a holy flow. Turn me up, I won't lay down, I am not the floor. Cooking the sauce in the pot, and they want some more Yanni and it's got the duffel, that's more stuff. Yeah, I used to rock around dingy. Now I'm clean like Fendi. Gave my heart, I cannot be stingy. Jesus made me plenty. Know the devil, he is getting mad. He cannot have any. All life, she was getting rough. I turned her like she Timmy. Faster than the Bentley, that be chasing Bennies. I'm shocked to tell they soft like Lenny. Jesus, please forgive me. I think I just committed murder. Oh, me had to die. Now I feel like Bobby Schmurder.
Hey, I got God, he keep me from being bound. If the devil come, he gon' catch another round. This that good music, God is always in my sound. Turn it up, I can never turn down.
All right, that is, I don't know how to pronounce the name, man.
Take a shot.
It's YAWYYONY.
YAW.
YY.
Let's say y'all right there.
Y'all.
And what's the rest?
YYONY. Why y'all Yanni?
Y'all, I don't know. Let's go with Young.
Y'all Yanni.
Young.
Song is called Turn It Up right here. Speak Life Radio. I don't like the title. Turning Up is been used so many times in music titles. So I don't like the title of the song. Even if you're saying Turn It Up in the hook, I would have named it something different.
Yep. Because
it's just so overplayed. And I don't even think people really say that anymore. Like, it's kind of played out to say Turn It Up. It's been so overdone. But as far as the song, the video is cool. You've used that. And this is just me nitpicking because you've submitted so many songs. You've used the purple background before with the purple effect where you turn the leaves purple. So that's only, just don't be so repetitive with the effects of the videos that's being done. The middle dude, his verse was like the weak link in the song to me. Just the sound he had didn't match the sound of C. Duffel, who's on the third verse and the first verse. So that to me, if you're going to do a collab, make sure the dude is going to match the energy and the style that you guys are putting out in that song. That was, and not saying he was bad, it just didn't match what the rest of the song was. Overall, I like the song a lot. I felt like C. Duffel, your verse was a little too fast. You don't have to do Machine Gun every time, and I thought it was a little too fast for that song. But overall, I do like the song. I'll give it a 4.1 today for that one. Definitely, man, the title, Turning Up, it's just outplayed, man. Shaun.
I was going to go with a 3.5. I like the energy. That whole track is all about energy.
Yeah.
So much to the point where you not really tuned into what they're saying. You just like, man, that track is moving me. I could see somebody working out to that, or hooping and not really so much caring about it. But if you're gonna do gospel rap, you don't want your music to just be background music. You want somebody to actually tune in to what you're saying. And at some point, it kind of feels like they lost that in the song. Like, they ain't gonna care. Let's just try to, ride off the beat.
Yeah.
No, you should always care. But for the most part, 3.5. I like the that was my first time seeing it. You used to that guy, I'm not used to that guy. So if that being my first video, I like how it, it was shot. Like, you can tell the cameraman was into it.
Yeah. And like I said, that's just me being nitpicky because he has submitted so much, but definitely good quality of the video. Listen, man, we got to get out of here. We're going to do one more track, and I feel bad because I see a lot of you in here. The only reason we got to end it early because I know Shaun has to go, and I have another show coming in the studio that I got to produce and engineer coming up soon, so I got to get to that. It's not like Tuesday nights where we can just go whenever. So my bad for everyone that we didn't get to, but I'm going to get to this last one. It is Ruthless. Rob, the beloved, Zay Hill, Zachariah, Young Priest, the Preacher, right here. Speak Life Radio, live music and video reviews. Shaun, man, I appreciate you coming through, bro.
Thanks for the invite.
You definitely got to do this more and just come in and hang out, co-host with us, review. But definitely want to get you in here more, man. It's definitely good chopping it up finally, for the first time on the show. And got to get you and God's Poet in here at the same time sometime, too,
Indeed.
man.
She going to have a ball, too.
Yeah. All right, this is Ruthless right here, Speak Life Radio.
And I'm feeling ruthless. Told all my brothers they got me, I swear that we never been losing. I swear I've been hanging with snakes and it feel like I'm living with Judas. I told them that we on our way, we ain't losing. No, we ain't losing. Oh man, we ruthless. Yeah. Hey, I said we ruthless. Yeah, I said we ruthless. Yeah. Oh yeah, we ruthless. I swear we ruthless. Oh man, we ruthless. Oh man, we ruthless. Yeah, this is how we do that. I said we ruthless. I said we ruthless. Yo, Chris, down to earth by the king. I can tell you all that I done seen. Mary had a lamb and I was reap. Slain on the cross, that was me. Feel like I'm dressed to the league. I'm a ball out with the team. Sleeping on me, having a good dream. Gotta let my ultra light beam. Stand on this word and I keep it one side. After the win, I just go on the tag. Running
Miss Tracy, I'm running these laps. Yeah, I'm submitted, but I ain't gon' tap. Might have felt broken, but I ain't never been cracked. Cause all my angels, they keep my back. Pray for me when I'm in lab. We ain't lose yet, we know that.
And I'm feeling ruthless. Told all my brothers they got me, I swear that we never been losing. I swear I've been hanging with saints, man, I feel like I'm living with Judas. I told them that we on our way, we ain't losing.
We making moves, how can we lose when our daddy on the game? All that plotting on our downfall just gon' motivate. Me and my bros on our way to our goals while ops take shots to the motorcade. Riding whip for armor on, so no delays, got souls to save. Yeah, I spin a block on a flock of demons. It work like a chopper, I gotta keep it. Be out here naked if I don't read it. I gotta walk out what I believe in. The Lord ain't in it, I'm throwing deuces. One day I was done with the excuses. Don't let your sins become your nuisance. They were took too much, so I'm going ruthless.
And I'm feeling ruthless. Told all my brothers they got me, I swear that we never been losing. I swear I've been hanging with snakes, man, I feel like I'm living with Judas. I told them that we on our way, we ain't losing. We ain't losing. Oh man, we ruthless. Yeah. Hey, I said we ruthless. Yeah, I said we ruthless. Yeah. Oh yeah, we ruthless. I swear we ruthless. Oh man, we ruthless. Oh man, we ruthless. Yeah, this is how we do this. I said we ruthless. I said we ruthless.
This is Super Chemist, live and direct. You're listening to Gorilla Cross Radio.
Overcomer Apparel, a premium Christian clothing company that boldly displays and promotes a message of victory and hope. This is more than a brand, it's a testimony. Connect with us on Facebook at facebook.com/Overcomer Apparel and check out all the fresh merchandise at www.overcomerapparel.org. Get your gear today and let everyone know that you are more than an overcomer through Christ. Revelations 12:11. And they overcome by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony.
Yeah, make sure you check out Overcomer Apparel on Facebook. Check out their website. I don't know where my flyer's at. Check out the website, overcomerapparel.org. Instagram at the Overcomer Apparel. Facebook, Overcomer Apparel. Wore the shirt the other day. There it is. Super dope brand right there, man. You know, I only promote brands that are dope. You know, come on. Make sure you go check out some of that gear. Everyone's always wondering what to wear, what they need to wear, what they want to wear. Make sure you check out some dope Christian brands. There's a lot of them out there, and we're trying to display more of them on Speak Life Radio Show. So that last song we reviewed, Shaun, was called Ruthless. What do you think about that track right there?
It was bouncy. It was, again, with the energy. I kind of got lost in what was going on, you know, so I don't know. I just heard Judas thrown out there a lot. I don't know what they was ruthless about, you know, but
okay.
For the most part, like the production was there. Like, again, if it's going to at least grab your attention for a little bit, you know, it's better than putting something out that you're not going to even, you know, put an ear to. So I'm going to go with a 3 on that. I'm going to go with a 3. I kind of got lost.
Yeah. I like the track a lot. I think the beat was really dope. Definitely a modern song. You know, I know a lot of times we get songs that sound kind of old school. They know what they're doing, man. I really did like the track a lot. Shout out New Tribe Records. And shout out Rob the Beloved. I like the track. I'm gonna give it a 4, man. I think everybody on there was dope.
Almost at the 5. I saw it.
No. I was gonna say 3.9.
How often do you give out 5s?
I don't give out 5s.
You never gave out a 5?
I don't think so.
Oh, wow.
It has to be one of them songs that I want to listen to over.
I'm going to have to send something
and over and over
again. See
if
I get a 5 up out of you.
Man, it's hard to get a 5 from me. But I like the song a lot, man. So I'm going to give it a 4. One of my favorite songs of the night for sure. But, man, everybody, man, if we didn't get to your song, please submit again on Tuesday. DM me. Let me know you submitted today, and we'll get your song first thing on Tuesday during the show. So make sure you check us out every Tuesday, 8 p.m. West Coast time, every Friday right here, 2 p.m. West Coast time. Shaun, any last words you want to give?
Look, it's been an honor. I appreciate the opportunity to come over here and speak life and just chop it up. I love chopping it up. For those that, again, if you don't know Jesus, just seek him. Just seek him. Start with prayer. Try to hone in on that voice. If there's people in your life that do know him, like try to connect with those people. But my desire for anything above anything else that I do is for people to be saved and have a relationship with Christ. You know, so it ain't always about music, but I just really pray that people have an encounter and experience. Other than that, I love y'all. God bless y'all. May peace and grace be yours in abundance.
Definitely, man. We appreciate everybody for tuning in right here live on Speak Life Radio, man. Make sure you download the app for free. Follow us on social media at Gorilla Cross, and follow me at Quan59 on all social media, Instagram, Twitter, everything, man. I'm everywhere. So make sure you find us, and we appreciate it. Get Shaun's music, man. It's free on SoundCloud. Make sure you go get that right now, today. Right here, Speak Life Radio, GorillaCross.com, man. We will see you next time, man. We love you guys.